Your mama wound just might be the cause of all the suffering and unhealthy relationships you may be going through. Let's get into it.
I was not kind. When I became a star, of course, like, then she was happy because I bought her a house. I did all kinds of things for her. She was my mother. I was trying to make her comfortable because she didn't have a husband. She was alone, but she still didn't like me. Even after I became Tina, Ma still was a little bit, who did that or who did this? And I said, I did it, Ma. I was happy to show my mother what I did. I had a house, I had gotten a car, and she said, I don't believe it. Now, you're my daughter. I know you didn't, something to this effect. Yeah, she didn't want me. She didn't want to be around me, even though she wanted my success. But I did for her as if she loved me.
One of the first and most important connections that you'll ever make is with your mother. You were born and, cultivated in her womb for 9 months before you even came into the world. And if you didn't have the emotional connection with your mom or that affection, that bonding, it may be hard to have those relationships intimately. It may be hard to have those relationships with friends. It may be hard to have those relationships in life, being social, being able to be vulnerable and open because your mother was so closed off or so mean or so toxic or so dysfunctional. This may have caused you to lack boundaries or continue to lack boundaries in your life, have poor sense of self and have poor self-worth, have poor self-esteem, accept poor treatment from others, accept um, mistreatment, being a people pleaser, trying to always prove yourself to the people that you love and to your friends, and not really knowing who you are. You might feel threatened and competitive with other women, not being able to trust and connect with men. You might resent and repeat the same behaviors with your own children. You have to pay attention to these things and understand that you are not your past, but your future. You're responsible for that. You're responsible for how you show up in the relationships that you have. You're responsible for being your highest self, loving yourself. And sometimes your mom disliking you made you question, were you good enough to other people? Were you good enough for your friends? Were you good enough for your intimate partners? If your mother tore you down, you surrounded yourself with those types of people in your life, in those types of relationships. So you really have to unpack that, and this year focus on healing that inner child. If we're not breaking generational curses, then what are we doing?
Message.